Can one breathe life into an idea, much like the breath of life that animates every living being? This abstract concept, the creative breath or spirit, arises from the image of the animating wind, the heavenly phallus, symbolizing the creative principle that fertilizes through inspiration. This creative spirit existed in ancient Egypt and persists in modern psychoanalytic visions. The breath is the bird that fertilizes, the wind that breathes life into women and animals, making them fertile. The abstract spirit, the archetypal father, merges with the earth, the tangible, the archetypal mother, to create, their origins intertwined in a circle. While the ego perceives the Ouroboros, the symbol of the serpent eating its own tail, representing infinity and the cycle of life, as the dark part of the unconscious psyche, this preconscious stage doesn't always associate with feelings of dread. Even if for the ego, light and consciousness intertwine as darkness and unconsciousness, people usually regard this information as something received before life or after death. In the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the dying individual receives instructions reaching their peak when they must recognize themselves as identical to the white light that shines beyond life and death. This information is post-conscious and not of this world. Existence within the wholeness that comes after death is also pre-conscious and before birth. This is what the Jewish Midrash refers to when it says that the fetus knows all the ends of the earth. The creature that still exists within the circle participates in unformed knowledge, immersed in an ocean of wisdom. The primal ocean, the oceanus of wisdom, symbolizes creation and wisdom. Therefore, early culture heroes emerged from the sea in half-fish form, like the Babylonian Oans, bringing wisdom as a revelation to humanity. Since the first wisdom is pre-worldly, meaning it predates the ego and consciousness, myths regard it as what existed before birth. Existence in the Ouroboros after death and before birth are the same existence. The ring of life and death is a closed circle. This mythological assumption of foreknowledge also explains the viewpoint that all knowledge is memory. The human task in the world is to remember with their consciousness the knowledge that existed before the emergence of consciousness. In essence, it is said about the righteous of the Hasidim. The righteous find what was lost at birth and return it to the sons of men. This is also the concept of Plato regarding pre-birth ideals that we try to remember. The original knowledge of the One, still folded within the primal wholeness, is very clear in child psychology. For this reason, primitive people treat children with respect. In the child, the archetypes of the collective unconscious are a living reality and very close to him, and indeed much of his behavior and his dreams express this knowledge that remained in him even before birth. This is a shared transpersonal experience, not something personal. The theory of inheritance proves that the child has the biological inheritance of his parents, and in a certain sense, he is the inheritance itself, also has a psychological justification. Therefore, Jung defines the transpersonal as the deposit of the experiences of the ancestors. The child whose life largely depends on the collective unconscious is a pre-personal entity and is actually the living carrier of the experience of the ancestors.